Who wants a beer?
We're recording.
Oh, damn it, we're dropping the modem? This is a very
You know,
international.
yeah, that's.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still on.
Okay, barely.
And we're recording.
Welcome
Thank
back
you. Okay, it's
to
better.
CulvertRadio.com live. I guess this is my bailiwick, John. Is this the political segment?
This is a full segment. This is where you talk and we make fun of you.
Okay, that sounds good. Well,
That's my favorite part.
as
I
everybody
love
knows-
making fun of Percy.
Yeah, who doesn't? As everybody knows, I kind of keep my politics to myself.
Attila the Hun would come up to you and say, "Oh, come on."
Just relax.
Yeah.
a little bit.
So is that
Socialist.
It's not so
is that
bad.
the voice in your head that comes out? Just, you said you keep your politics to yourself. Is that the voice in your head that's speaking when you're here, or what?
No. I was making a joke. Fletch.
Oh,
He listens
you're
to the
being
voices in his head.
facetious. You're being a
I listened.
facetious.
He's being facetious.
I was being facetious. No, the voices in my head all have shows on Fox News. So, today I have two very specific things to cover.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The
I
first
like
is
that.
a news story about falsifications in emails regarding the research by a group known as the CRU, or Climate Research. Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah.
Boy,
this
they
is
really
fantastic.
don't. They really don't want this getting out.
No, they don't.
They're-
And there's two major
Well, they're
points
just-
about this. The first one is the New York Times. The
Yeah.
New York Times has refused to publish the content of the emails on the grounds that the emails were never meant to be viewed by the public.
Is that hypocritical by the New York Times or what?
It really is, because I mean, have you heard of
So
the
that
Pentagon
means
Papers?
so I bet they've put in a retraction on the Pentagon Papers.
Right.
Sorry, we take it all back.
Those were never meant to be viewed by
That's
the
so
public.
lying.
Please disregard the following.
That's right.
So that's my issue
Not the
with
New
the
York Times.
Well, and then
I wouldn't wrap fish in it.
If the, I would wrap fish that only swim left. If you're in the New York Times, and I bring up the article right here. I have to read this to you guys. First, I'm going to read it in its regular, just no emotion, no intonation, nothing, and then I will read it to you the way it was written, and you tell me if you can tell the difference between these two. And I guarantee you, this is how some people.
I'm not
read.
sure I entirely understand this, but I'm going to play
You're-
along as you go.
You're not
Okay.
exactly
Okay.
intellectual.
Is this your plan? Had you planned to do this? Or is
No,
this
actually,
off the
I'm
cuff?
breaking off right
This
now.
is where
because-
Smitty got him.
Yeah.
Smitty said, seriously, this is your preparation? You're going to read something off the internet? Smitty nailed him.
Well, no, that wasn't nailing. You can't.
Oh, Smitty nailed
That wasn't nailing. Come on now. All
It
right,
was,
so
it was stapling.
Yeah, that's true. He stapled.
right.
He rubber banded him.
I guess
He got paper clipped.
you know, you have to read it from somewhere, man. All right, so the documents appear to have been acquired illegally and contain all manner of private information and statements that were never intended for the public eye, so they won't be posted here. That's what the New York Times said. Now, as you continue reading, hacked email is new fodder for climate dispute, according to the New York Times. This is the actual article. The email messages, attributed to prominent American and British climate researchers, include discussions of scientific data and whether it should be released, exchanges about how to best combat the arguments of skeptics, and casual comments, in some cases derisive, about specific people known for their skeptical views. Drafts of scientific papers and a photo collage that portrays climate skeptics on an ice floe were also among the hacked data, some of which dates back 13 years. In one email exchange, a scientist writes of using a statistical trick in a chart illustrating a recent sharp warming trend. Now, all right, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You know, you're going to have to be
Sorry.
a little more concise there, Percy.
All right, hold on. Let me.
Somebody lied.
This is an American audience, you understand?
Okay.
This is not the BBC.
They're going, when did they start bowling for money?
Here's the part that kind of points to what the New York Times is all about.
I'm listening.
The evidence pointing to a growing human contribution to global warming is so widely accepted that the hacked material is unlikely to erode the overall argument. However, the documents will undoubtedly raise questions about the quality of research on some specific questions and the actions of some scientists. Now that to me sounds like a minimization of what's happening.
In other words, they're saying, don't listen to this.
Right. In other words, they're saying don't
Ignore
pay
that
any
man
attention.
behind the curtain.
Exactly. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, despite the fact that he is disagreeing with your climate
That's right.
change. Now, the killer of all this is that they falsify the data based on or in anticipation of having the data requested by Freedom of Information Act. So they took what they knew people were going to go after, and they either deleted it removed it or compiled it in a way using these tricks to make it seem like the data supported their argument,
That's
even
exactly
though it shows no warming trend over the last 10 years.
Trick.
Their own website, the CRU's
Nothing
own
I see?
website, exactly. The CRU's own website can't hide from the fact that there's no Earth warming trend or no global warming trend over the past 10 years. John, as you like to say, these people can't tell me when it's going
You can't
to
tell me it's
rain,
going to rain.
let alone, you know. And then
Where the hell did Al Gore
One
get
of
his
my-
meteorological degree?
one of my
Where did he
favorites
get it
is,
in climatology?
these are the same people who told
Climate's
us.
always the same in the pool house.
That's right, 67 degrees with a chance of rain. These are the same people who told us that during the first Gulf War, when we set the Kuwaiti oil fields on fire, that there would be no summer from all the oil that was burning and all the pollutants that were going to the atmosphere. They
Sure.
said there would be no summer, like no seasons that year. Well, as it turns out, they were wrong then, they're wrong now, and they know it. And while this might not have nailed them dead to rights, it certainly has them in somebody's crosshairs, and it might actually help if you started revealing the truth to people, because they're only going to pander to this for so long before something like cap and trade gets absolutely destroyed in the House and Senate.
But
Well, you
now
know, when they-
listen, if these guys have made a living on this,
Yeah,
how can they say, "Oops, we were wrong"? But now I still have to make a
they
living for
don't
the
have
next
to
20
say
years.
they don't have to say oops, but they're scientists.
I
You know what I mean?
know
Isn't that,
I know
isn't that
people.
oops, basically.
Oh yeah, well,
I know
politicized
people in
science is
the
dangerous.
in the
My
global.
bad.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
bad.
I know people in the climate change game. I mean, they make their living out of it.
Absolutely.
Right.
If people start going like, "Oh, for God's sakes, you people don't know what the hell you're talking about," it's gonna be like, "What do I do for a living?"
Exactly.
Now?
What do I do for the next 20 years?
Yeah, why don't you,
Well,
with,
before
Sears needs someone in the lingerie department.
Appliance.
Appliances. Welcome to Walmart. Walmart. You know,
But I mean, how long can you sustain an industry that, as it's turning out more and more, is based on fraudulent information?
well, this
I don't
also.
know. Al Gore's making a mint, brother.
Al Gore is making a
Oh, his company will make a fortune. This also brings up the issue of cap and trade with Senator Lindsey Graham,
right,
and
Local
but
politics.
you know, he's getting hammered
pretty
but
hard. as a
pretty
matter of
hard
fact.
by. As a matter of fact, he's been admonished, if you will, by the local Republican parties in Berkeley and Charleston
Yes.
County. I am withholding judgment, though. I mean, he has not said he's going to vote for cap and trade as we understand it. He's in the middle of negotiating cap and trade with people like John Kerry, and I want to wait and see what he's got. I have no idea what's going to be in that thing.
That's
Seems to
because you are reasonable.
I'm reasonable.
He just
Cap and
moves to the
trade has-
left a little too much for me anymore. Lindsey Graham. I don't know. If
Yeah,
it's
but every
good.
time Lindsey Graham does something that pisses you off, he then does something amazing, like show Eric Holder what a complete nincompoop he
Oh,
is
that
to the
was
whole
good.
world.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
How did you do that?
He gave him
I think I
a
missed
lesson in law,
Yeah, it gave
boy.
Eric Holder a lesson. Gave the Attorney General a lesson in law in front of everybody concerning
front of the whole freaking world.
The
Yeah.
trials at KSM. This
He-
was about a week ago.
Yeah,
Oh, I think I
it-
missed that one.
Yeah, the Senate hearings. And Lindsey Graham said, Mr. Holder, can you tell us any time ever in history in which an enemy combatant has been brought up in civil in a civilian court
Yeah.
for crimes committed? And Eric Holder goes, "Well, I think I'll have to get back to you on that." And that's all That's all
That's
Lindsey
all-
Graham
yeah.
did. No, you don't have to get back to me on that. I'll give you the answer. Never. It's never been done. And that's exactly what you're proposing. He let Holder have it.
And then-
Made Holder look like a complete
You know,
And then
jackass.
he said,
Which, I'm sorry, but
Eric Holder is a
Eric
complete
Holder
jackass.
is just, I cannot believe it.
You know, this is such a
Can't believe
circus.
they're doing this.
What is this guy that, what's the guy's name that's going
Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
Yeah, and they're now referring
KSM,
him
for sure.
as KSM.
Yeah.
KSM.
It's kind of like Eminem. Now this guy's
It's cool
got
now.
a
KFC.
Yeah, he's got a persona.
Hey, it's KSM. He's in the house.
Exactly.
He's all right.
the other thing that was pretty funny that Lindsey Graham hit Holder with was, you mean to tell me if we found Osama bin Laden tomorrow and
We put
brought
him in court? Yeah.
we bring him in court? Well, that was kind of
Gray
that's a
area.
different. He basically that's what he said.
We're going to have to hold that thought and come back with the rest of the politics here after the break at CulbertRadio.com live. We'll be right back.